The only thing that has problems is the physical. Your body has problems. So often we say, gosh, I have a sickness, I have cold, I have cancer, I have this, That's nonsense. You don't have anything. Pardon me, I didn't mean to yell at you. As a soul, we can't have cancer. As a soul, I can't have a headache. It's impossible. So who has the headache and who has the cancer? Our body. Our body's temporal. And so it goes through the dynamics. And we can mitigate it. We do it here. We know that we can put something in mind and clear out some of the cobwebs that's there. So what we need to realize is when we do the dynamics of this world and we say, hey, wait a minute now. I'm not my physical body. I'm not in the events of the world. I know that it sells newspapers and that's all well and good. But I'm a witness. I'm here to experience all that stuff and to grow my soul, to learn how to operate as a spiritual being in this limited physical environment and this physical body. That's what Angelo's all about. I'm trying to be a spiritual guy on vacation here on planet Earth, learning how to live and how to function in a physical, limited body. It's quite a job, you know. So don't get sucked into the drama. Just learn from it, grow from it, go on to the next drama. It's always changing. It's always different. So the dynamics is we don't need to be afraid of anything. We need to convince our conscience and expand that idea of who we are to know that we don't have to be afraid of anything. I don't care what it is. We don't have to be afraid because nothing, no thing, get the word, no thing in this world can harm us. We're eternal. Get through our heads here. No thing has power over us. No thing has power. It's ridiculous when we get fearful about something that's happening in the physical world. It's like building a table and being afraid that it might attack us. That's ridiculous. We watch too much TV. So I think the dynamics of all this is how we verbalize this, how we build our consciousness to get that larger dimension here. And we do it by the way we think about ourselves and how we think and we relate to ourselves. So what I like to do is say, I am love. I am abundance. I am whole. The I am, and then define what it is. And put that in mind and don't let it go. And I am prosperous. I am health. Whatever it is. And you're not, oh, I'm thinking about, I think I'm going to experience health and well-beingness. If I pray enough, I'm going to have abundance. That's nonsense. We are health. We are abundance. That's our nature. So get it through our thick skull and expand it. It's kind of interesting. I wrote this down and I can't find it. Between what is occurring and our response to it, everything in between is our freedom. That's our freedom. How we relate. Everything in between is our freedom. So we find out suddenly that in this drama, if we really bring in and don't exclude our spiritual nature, we find out one thing. There's nothing to heal. I don't have to heal my checkbook. I don't have to heal the drama in the world. I don't have to do all these things. Why? All I need to do is reveal. I need to reveal that which I am. And if enough of us did that, we would see a dynamic change in the consciousness of this universe. Wouldn't you see that? If enough of us said, I am here to reveal my true nature, which is love, harmony, and abundance, period. That's who I am. And that's how I'm going to treat the world of form. Then good things happen. We had such a lot to cover here. I'm going to do the snow story. I think that's kind of cool. What happens is, when we get into this dynamics of who we really are, and the space between, what we find out is that when we release concern, this is good. I'm sorry to act like this. I just can't get over it. When we release concern for the physical, when we release concern for self, for our physical self, that's our true freedom. Interesting, isn't it? So when I stop saying, my gosh, what's the economy going to do for me? What are we going to do as a country? There's so much war going on and so much anger and hatred. What are we going to do? When we stop and released our concern for the physical. When we release the concern for self, that's our freedom. When we can go out that door and not worry if Mary Smots comes to me and says, Angelo, you're nothing but a blah, 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 blah. And where I can relate and say, oh my God, look, she doesn't like me anymore. She's already what I do. No. I release concern for Angelo's physical beingness and know that I'm an eternal being that has no problems. That's what I am. See? So let's clap for that. I don't know. And then we'll close. Has to do with Steve, who loves to go on hikes. We see that a lot in Yosemite, and they solo it. And what happens is we lost 14 people last year or so, I don't know years, but people who go on hikes and they love to go into the mountains. And well, here's Steve, and he loves that. He always soloed it, and he just couldn't stay away from it. So he's going up this mountain, and he's hiking, and all of a sudden snowstorm hits him, blinding snowstorm. Everything changes. The dynamics of the human world, the physical world. His feet was numb, his hands were numb, he was losing his self-confidence, blinding storm. He knew that there was a cabin nearby because he'd been there before, but he couldn't see far enough to find it. He was exhausted, and he was ready to give up. He was really concerned for his own well-being. How did he release it? It happened, the universe provided it for him. He almost stumbled over someone who was lying in his pathway, another hiker. The other hiker, he stumbles over this guy. And my gosh, he said, are you okay? And he says, no, I'm dying. I've been here a while. I'm too cold to go on. I'm numb. He said, I can't make it. And he says, yes, you can. You can make it. And he takes off his gloves from his numb hands. Takes off his gloves. And he starts rubbing the guy's legs and arms and convincing him, no, we can make it together. There's a cabin nearby, and we can make it together. See how we can release concern for our physical self, giving to someone else. And I'll be darned, after a period of time, the person started feeling better, and he got up. And together they went forward, and they found the cabin. When they got into the cabin, Stephen said this to the man that he had just saved. He says, thank you so much, you saved my life. And the guy laughed. He says, are you kidding? I was dead, almost dead, and you saved me, you took care of me. He says, no. He said, I was so concerned for my own well-being that I was ready to give up. You saved my life. Isn't that cool? Let's clap for Steve! So in closing, I'm going to tell you about the dolphin. Sorry. That's at a later time. But in closing, we know that we have inner freedom. It's what we call our authentic freedom. And what are we free about? We're free to experience this human drama as masters of the drama. We're also free to bring into the drama and not exclude it our spiritual nature. That's what we're free to do. Unfortunately, most of the people on this planet do not understand or know or tap into this idea of our own personal power. But here's the tragedy. The majority of the people on planet Earth have not discovered their personal power. And that's a tragedy. So what's our duty assignment? We build it up into our own life, we experience it, we change our own consciousness, and the ripple effect can change the whole world. Do you believe that?
Yes.
And so it is.
So it is.